Hi. I am here. Welcome back to Movie Storyline. Today I will show mystery and thriller, horror film from 2021, titled Old. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The film begins by showing a family consisting of Guy Kappa, his wife named Priska and their two children named Trent and Maddox. They are planning to go on vacation to an area. After arriving at the hotel, they were greeted by the hotel manager with such a magnificent welcome. Then Priska told her husband that she found such a good vacation spot only online. Meanwhile, Trent and Maddox, while walking around the hotel, they meet and get acquainted with a small child also named Idlib, who is the nephew of the hotel manager. While in the room, Kappa found a brochure that the hotel they are staying in is currently working with a pharmaceutical company that supplies medicines to all over the country. Soon Trent and Maddox invite them to go to the beach. When we are at the beach, we are shown many people who vacation to that place. They are so happy, with their families enjoying the beauty of nature. It can also be seen that Trent and Idlib are starting to get to know each other. It was only later that night that it was discovered that it was the last vacation for them, because Priska and Kappa decided to divorce. Their little bickering was overheard by Trent and Maddox. They could only be silent when they found out. Then Trent gets a letter from the devil who invites him to eat an ice cream competition. In the morning, we were shown another family who also visited the place. Consisting of Charles, then his mother named Agnes, then his wife named Crystal has a calcium deficiency disease, and her child named Kara, who is still 4 years old. Meanwhile, the hotel manager informed the Kappa family that there is a beach located in a nature reserve, surrounded by extraordinary natural rocks and minerals, where the beach has natural beauty that will spoil their family. Without thinking, they agreed to an offer from the hotel manager to go to the beach. It wasn't long before suddenly a woman named Patricia fell to the floor, experiencing convulsions. It was her disease, namely epilepsy. Immediately Charles came and told him he was a doctor. Patricia's husband, Jaron, told me that he was a nurse. These symptoms will go away on their own. And sure enough, Patricia's condition immediately improved. Long story short, the Kappa family and Charles will go to a beach offered by the hotel manager. They are escorted by car. After arriving, the driver told them to walk to the beach they were going to visit, and the driver would pick them up in the afternoon. Then they walked towards the beach they were going to, passing some pretty big rocks. On the beach, it was a very beautiful and very amazing sight. On the beach there was also a man sitting alone, not knowing who he was and where he had come from. The whole family there enjoys the beach atmosphere, but it looks like Kappa and his wife are so worried because they are going to divorce after this holiday. It turns out that Maddox knows the man sitting alone. He says that his name is Sedan, who is a singer, but because it is privacy, Kappa asked him not to disturb him. There was a very pleasant atmosphere. The children were running happily. Maddox accidentally found the remains of utensils from previous visitors from the hotel. There was even a spoon that had rusted. While swimming, Trent was accidentally approached by the corpse of a woman who floated towards him. It made all those who visited the beach confused. They didn't know what to do. Why did a woman die on the beach? Then the man believed to be a Sedan came up to him with a nosebleed, saying that last night he was with him, but did not know that in the morning he had died. Strange events began to appear. Charles's mother named Agnes felt her chest begin to constrict to breathe. Then Priska noticed that Trent's pants were too small. Kappa and Charles were confused because there was no signal at that place. Not long after, Jaron and his wife named Patricia came to the beach. They were late to the beach because they had to rest in their room. They were all confused why there was a woman who died on the beach, because the nose of the Sedan always had a nosebleed. Charles suspects that all of this has something to do with the Sedan. Jaron tried to get out of it by passing through several caves that had been passed, but it knocked him unconscious and bounced off the beach again. Not long after that, in about a few minutes, Charles' mother, Agnes, died immediately. Charles believed that his mother died watching someone else die, which caused a relapse of his heart disease. At the same time, Priska realized that a very strange thing just happened. Because her two children are no longer the same age as before, their bodies seem to have grown bigger, like children who have entered the age of 12, when in fact they are still 6 years old. Don't know why suddenly the Sedan ran. Without thinking, Charles immediately chased after him. They ran into the cave in the rock crevice, but it gave them a high pressure on their heads, and passed out, and they appeared on the shore again. Everyone there was confused about what happened on the beach. They finally decided to split into two groups. But their efforts remained in vain. They bounced back to the shore again. It didn't take long for Charles to keep a knife, so he immediately scratched the sedan's face. But a strange thing happened. The wound from the knife healed so quickly. Because he did not want to always be accused of the death of the woman on the beach, then he explained that the sedan came to the beach through online, and he got acquainted with the woman who was on the beach who had died. The woman also had a history of the same disease, namely sclerosis, a rare blood clotting disease that makes his nose bleed quickly. Since Patricia was a psychologist, she finally asked everyone to come together and tell them why they had come to the beach. Starting with Charles and Crystal, he came to it online, came to the beach to relieve the stress that Charles often experienced as a doctor. Then Priska and Kappa, they came to the beach for a vacation because Priska has a tumor. Suddenly she feels so sick in her stomach. It turns out that the tumor is growing fast, which makes Priska faint. Because Charles was a doctor, he was ordered to remove the tumor by splitting his stomach and removing the tumor with a makeshift tool. What a surprise, the first incision in Priska's stomach immediately closed by itself. Then Charles did it again with the help of others, by making a larger incision and immediately taking the tumor from Priska's stomach, which was already large, and immediately Priska's stomach closed by itself. Then Priska woke up and said that her body was feeling better than before. At that moment the sedan approached the corpse of a woman who had died, but unexpectedly the corpse turned out to be only bones. Because Priska works in a museum, she believes the body of someone who has died will experience such decomposition when it comes to 7 years, and it happened on the beach in just 3 hours. Only then did they find out that 1 hour on the beach is equal to 2 years, and that is the same as 24 hours there, which is the same as they spent 50 years. It can be seen because of the changes in their children's bodies. It can be seen that they age rapidly and their bodies age rapidly except for hair and nails because they are dead cells. On the other hand, Trent and Kara are shown alone in a tent, not knowing what they are doing. It turned out that they had both been doing steadily, and made Kara's stomach in just a few moments look like she was about to give birth. And sure enough, not long after that, Kara began to feel pain in her stomach, and finally she gave birth on the beach and the baby came out. Because the baby needs a lot of attention, as well as nutrition from the mother, just a minute that goes by is allowed to make the baby's body unable to survive and make it die. Later, it was also shown that Charles was under increased stress, and he accused everyone there of harming him. Likewise with the crystal body, which slowly looks like a person who has aged so old due to lack of calcium. No rain, no lightning, no WhatsApp messages from you. Suddenly Charles killed the sedan with the knife he had. Slowly they finally managed to get Charles' knife. Finally Jaron decided to go first from the beach, by swimming to the end of the beach. By seeing the condition of all of them, with different disease backgrounds, they believed that the hotel manager had tricked them into coming to the beach, because they got the vacation invitation only online and cheaply. And also seen above there is someone watching him. Then Maddox asked his mother about the reason they were going to divorce, none other than because of a third person. Hearing that answer, Maddox was very disappointed and he decided to commit suicide by swimming to the middle of the beach. But not long after that, he found the body of the finger that floated on the shore and had died. And sure enough, it made Patricia very sad, because she had to lose her husband. They are also sure if swimming the beach will make you faint suddenly. When Trent was about to bury his dead baby, Kara suddenly climbed the rocks that were there. He was sure he could get out of the beach. But instead he fainted while climbing the cliff and made him fall down on the rock and die. Not long after that, Patricia's epilepsy relapsed and made it impossible for her to survive and she died. It is also shown that the vision from Kappa's eyes is now starting to become unclear. It didn't feel like it was the afternoon, which meant they had passed several years. This made Priska's hearing no longer good. He couldn't even hear the voices around him. Then we are shown Kappa and Priska, that Kappa has found out about his wife's infidelity, but he is just silent. He is so afraid of losing Priska because he loves Priska so much, even though he knows that Priska has an affair behind his back. Hearing those words, Priska was so sad. It turned out that the man who had been with her so much loved her, and now she only hopes to live forever with Kappa. On the other hand, Trent and Maddox find a notebook that is on the beach, which informs that the magnetic point of the Earth is near the coast, surrounded by rocks that have sunk near the ocean for millions of years, and there are special mineral deposits, which cause anyone on the beach will age quickly. Not long after that, it turned out that Charles secretly took a knife and was about to kill Kappa and Priska, knowing that Priska immediately ordered Maddox and Trent to find a hiding place. It turned out that they found the crystal that was hiding as well with his body, which had undergone strange changes in his bones due to lack of calcium, and finally he died. Then, using a rusty knife, Priska directly scratched Charles's hand. It made Charles' body immediately undergo a change, because the poison from the rust possessed by the knife immediately spread throughout Charles' body and made him die. Now leaving only the four of them on the beach, they are so aware that the most important treasure and happiness is family. Because Kappa's body couldn't last much longer, he finally fell and died, as did Priska. In the morning, we are shown a Trent and Maddox like they are 50 years old. How quickly time passes in just one day for them. They only had about 13 hours left to get off the beach. Before planning to leave the beach, they played a game of sand. Trent accidentally reads the letter given by Idlib, which means his uncle doesn't like coral. It could be a sign of a way out for them, because there is a coral in the middle of the beach. With all determination and belief, they swam trying to get close to the coral, but not so much as Maddox's shirt got caught. And we are shown a driver who took them watching them. He was sure that Trent and Maddox had died right then and there, because they did not come to the surface, and he immediately reported to his superiors that they were all dead. Then we are shown that the driver is a member of the owner of the hotel, who cooperates with pharmaceutical drug researchers who spread drugs around the world, where he distributes drugs by conducting experiments on everyone who has different diseases. It didn't take them long to find and make drugs easily, and they've just managed to find an epilepsy drug that lasts for about 17 years. Then we were shown the hotel manager to welcome invited guests who had just come to the place, but at that time there were also two people who dropped the drinks they offered. It was the Trent and Maddox who managed to survive the beach. He did not forget that he had also reported the crime cases committed by the hotel to the police and local security. Then we are shown how Trent and Maddox can survive while swimming past coral. When his clothes get caught, suddenly coral splits by itself, which allows them to take a breath, and finally they can be saved. Only they are confused if they go home to see their aunt, because they have more than 50 years of age from his physical appearance. And it's over.